The afternoon sun poured through floor-to-ceiling windows, turning marble floors into rivers of gold. Sophia Torres stepped back from her work, satisfaction warming her chest. 3 years of cleaning this penthouse, and she still found peace in the rhythm of it. At 29, she'd built something solid for herself and Emma, her 7-year-old daughter. After Emma's father vanished before she was even born, Sophia learned to trust only herself. The front door opened at 2 p.m. Wrong. James Wellington never came home before 7. She pulled out her earbuds and froze. The man stumbling through the door looked nothing like the sharp, commanding businessman she knew. His tie hung loose. His shirt was wrinkled. His eyes carried the weight of someone drowning. "Mr. Wellington." Her voice came out softer than intended. "Is everything all right?" He stared at her like he was seeing her for the first time in 3 years. The intensity in his gaze made her pulse quicken. "Sophia." His voice cracked. "I need to talk to you. Should finish and go. Emma gets out of school in an hour, please." The desperation in that single word stopped her cold. "This is important." They sat on opposite ends of the cream sofa she'd only ever touched with cleaning gloves. James leaned forward, hands clasped, staring at the floor. 6 months ago, I lost everything. My company. My investments. My savings. All of it gone. Sophia blinked at the luxury surrounding them. "I don't understand. This penthouse is all I have left. I own it outright. Everything else, 15 years of building an empire, destroyed by bad investments and partners who betrayed me. My wife divorced me 4 months ago when the money disappeared. She took what she could and never looked back." Something in Sophia's chest ached. She knew betrayal. She knew abandonment. "I'm sorry. But why are you telling me this?" James looked up. Raw vulnerability stripped away every social barrier between them. "In 2 hours, 3 investors are coming here. They think I'm still the successful man they read about. They think I have a stable life, a happy marriage. If they know the truth, they'll walk away. Desperate men don't get investments. They get pity or exploitation." Her heart began to race. She knew where this was going. "What are you asking me?" He moved closer. Close enough that she could see the lines around his eyes. Smell his expensive cologne. Feel the heat radiating from his body. "Pretend to be my wife. Just tonight? Just this one meeting. I need them to see stability. I need them to see a man with his life together, with someone by his side." His words came fast, desperate. "I know it's insane. I know I have no right. But I'm begging you. This is my last chance." Sophia shot to her feet. "I can't. This is crazy. I'm your housekeeper. I clean your floors. I'm nobody. You're not nobody." James stood fierce. "You're real. You're genuine. Right now, you're the only person in my life who doesn't want something from me, who doesn't see me as a failure." He paused. "I'll pay you $15,000 for 2 hours of your time." $15,000. Emma's unpaid medical bills? The leak in their apartment. Breathing easier for the first time in years. What if I mess it up? What if they can tell? "You won't. Just be yourself. Just be the kind, intelligent, beautiful woman you are." Beautiful. The word hit her like a physical touch. Heat flooded her cheeks. "Just tonight," she confirmed. "After this, everything goes back to normal. I promise. Just tonight? Just this one meeting." She thought of Emma, of bills stacked on their kitchen table, of always struggling, always worrying. "All right, I'll do it. But after tonight, we never speak of this again." Relief washed over his face, making him look years younger. "Thank you, Sophia. You have no idea what this means." He reached out and took her hand. Electricity shot through her entire body. His hand was warm, strong, his grip gentle but firm. Looking into his grateful eyes, Sophia felt something dangerous shift inside her chest. Something impossible. "We should prepare," James said, reluctantly releasing her hand. "I need to brief you." He paused. "And Sophia, from now until the meeting ends, call me James, not Mr. Wellington. Can you do that?" Her throat tightened. "Yes, James." His name on her lips felt intimate, forbidden. As he led her to the study, Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that she was stepping into something far more complicated than a business arrangement. She'd agreed to pretend to be his wife for 2 hours. But some pretenses have a way of becoming dangerously real. The navy blue dress fit like it was made for her. Sophia stared at her reflection, barely recognizing the sophisticated woman looking back. James had insisted on buying it that afternoon, along with shoes and jewelry that probably cost more than her monthly rent. The investors arrived at 7 sharp. Richard Morrison, silver-haired and calculating. Thomas Bryant, warm smile, hiding sharp business instincts. David Chin, quiet and observant, the type who missed nothing. Gentlemen, welcome to our home. James's transformation was complete. Gone was the desperate man from hours earlier. I'd like you to meet my wife, Sophia. She extended her hand, surprised when her smile came naturally. It's wonderful to meet you all. James has told me so much about this venture. They gathered around the dining table. James presented his vision for a technology platform revolutionizing small business logistics. Sophia listened, genuinely fascinated. She hadn't known he was this brilliant, as passionate about creating something meaningful. Over dinner, Thomas turned to her with friendly curiosity. So Sophia, how did you and James meet? He's been quite secretive about his personal life. She glanced at James, remembering their rehearsed story. But when she spoke, truth bled into fiction. It was unexpected. I was working, just trying to make ends meet as a single mother. James saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. He looked past all the things that usually define people and saw me for who I really am. That changed everything. Wasn't entirely a lie. This afternoon, when he'd called her beautiful and genuine, something had shifted in how she saw herself. James reached over and took her hand on the table. The gesture appeared natural to their audience, but Sophia felt the slight tremble in his fingers, felt his thumb brush across her knuckles in a way that seemed less like acting and more like something real. Sophia has a daughter, James added, his voice warm. Emma. She's 7 and absolutely brilliant. She's changed my perspective on what really matters in life. Richard Morrison smiled. Family is everything. It's clear you two have built something solid together. That's the kind of stability we like to see in our business partners. The investors left with handshakes and promises to review the proposal. The door closed. Silence fell like a curtain. Sophia turned to James, intending to say goodbye, to take her payment and leave. But he was staring at her with an expression that made her breath catch. You were perfect, he said quietly. More than perfect. You were real. It was just acting. Was it? He stepped closer. Because it didn't feel like acting to me. Her heart hammered against her ribs. James, we had a deal. Tonight only? I know. But he didn't move away. Sophia, can I ask you something? When you talked about me seeing you for who you really are, did you mean that? She should lie. She should grab her things and run. Instead, she heard herself whisper, Yes, I meant it too. Every word I said about Emma, about what matters, I meant all of it. The space between them felt charged with something electric and dangerous. Sophia knew she should leave. She knew crossing this line would complicate everything. But when James reached up and gently tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, she didn't pull away. Should go, she managed. Emma's with the neighbor. His voice was rough. Just for a little while. Let me make you dinner. Real dinner, not catered food for show. Let me thank you properly. You're paying me $15,000. That's thanks enough, as payment for the meeting. This is different. This is me asking you, Sophia Torres, to have dinner with me. James Wellington. Not your employer. Not your client. Just me. She should say no. Every rational thought screamed at her to walk away. But when she looked into his eyes, she saw the same loneliness she carried, the same scars from betrayal, the same desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, connection was still possible. 1 hour, she agreed. Then I have to get back to Emma. I moved to the kitchen. James cooked pasta while Sophia sat on the counter, something she'd never have dared before. They talked about Emma, about Sophia's dreams of going back to school, about James's childhood before wealth, before everything became complicated. I was happy once, James said, stirring sauce. Before the money, before the empire. I was just a kid who loved building things. I lost that somewhere along the way. You can find it again, Sophia said softly. It's not too late. He looked up at her, and the intensity in his gaze made her shiver. Maybe you're right. Maybe tonight showed me that. They ate at the kitchen island, knees almost touching. The conversation flowed easier than it should between a housekeeper and her employer. Lines blurred. Walls crumbled. When Sophia finally stood to leave, James walked her to the door. She expected him to hand her a check. Instead, he took both her hands in his. Tomorrow, he said. Come back tomorrow. Not to clean. Not to pretend. Just come back. James, we can't do this. You know we can't? Why not? Because of money? Because of what people will think? Sophia, tonight was the most real I've felt in years. Don't tell me you didn't feel it too. She had felt it. God help her, she'd felt every moment. I need to think, she whispered. He nodded, releasing her hands reluctantly. I'll wait, however long it takes. Sophia made it to the elevator before letting herself cry. Not from sadness. From the terrifying realization that somewhere between pretending to be his wife and sitting on his kitchen counter, she'd started falling for James Wellington, and that could only end in heartbreak. Sophia returned the next afternoon. She told herself it was to collect her payment. She told herself it meant nothing. Both were lies. James opened the door in jeans and a t-shirt. He's looking more human than she'd ever seen him. His smile was hesitant, hopeful. You came, just to talk, she said, but her racing heart betrayed her. They sat on his terrace overlooking the city. Autumn wind carried the scent of coffee from the cups between them. I've been thinking, James began. About what you said last night. About finding happiness again? He paused. I want to try. But Sophia, I don't want to do it alone. What are you asking? Date me. Really date me. Not as my employee. Not as some arrangement. As equals? She laughed, bitter. Equals James? You live in a penthouse? I live in a one-bedroom apartment with a leaky ceiling. We're not equals. You're wrong. His voice was fierce. I have money and a nice view. You have courage and integrity and a daughter who adores you. You've built a life on your own terms. I've spent years building an empire that crumbled the moment people stopped fearing me. If anything, you're stronger than I'll ever be. The raw honesty in his words cracked something open inside her. I'm scared, she admitted. Emma's been hurt enough. I can't let her get attached to someone who might leave. I won't leave. You don't know that. Your ex-wife left. Emma's father left before she was even born. Everyone leaves. James reached across the table and took her hand. Then let me prove I'm different. Give me a chance to show you that not everyone runs when things get hard. She wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to so badly it hurt. 1 month, she said finally. We date for 1 month. If it doesn't work, we walk away clean. You find another housekeeper. I find another client. Deal. Deal. The month that followed felt like a dream. James picked Emma up from school, winning her over with terrible jokes and genuine interest in her drawings. He took them to museums, parks, places Sophia could never afford. But he also showed up at midnight when Emma had a fever, holding Sophia while she cried from exhaustion. He fixed the leak in their apartment himself, refusing to hire someone. He was present in ways Sophia had never experienced. She fell harder each day. So did Emma, 3 weeks in. Lying beside James on his living room floor, while Emma slept in the guest room after a movie night, Sophia felt dangerously close to happy. I love you, James whispered into the darkness. Her heart stopped. James, you don't have to say it back. I just needed you to know. I love you, Sophia, and I love Emma. I want this to be real. Not for a month, forever. Tears slid down her temples. I love you too. It terrifies me, but I do. He kissed her then, soft and deep and full of promise. The investors came through the next week. The deal was signed. James's company would rise again. He took Sophia to dinner to celebrate. Somewhere expensive where she felt out of place until he reminded her she belonged anywhere he did. "There's something I need to tell you," James said over dessert. His expression was serious. Cold dread filled Sophia's stomach. "What?" "The investors want me to go public with the company's revival. That means interviews, press coverage, public appearances." He took her hand. "They want to meet my wife. The woman who stood by me. But I'm not your wife. That was just for one night." "I know. But Sophia, they believed it." Richard Morrison specifically mentioned how impressed he was with our relationship, with the stability you represent. If they find out we lied, they might reconsider the entire deal. Her chest tightened. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying we need to keep up the pretense. Just a little longer. Just until the company is stable and the contracts are finalized. A few months at most." She pulled her hand away. "A few months? James, Emma's already calling you family. What happens when this all ends? When you don't need the pretense anymore?" "It won't end. After the contracts are signed, we can tell the truth. Say we got married quietly before. Make it real. Make it real." Anger flared hot in her chest. "You're asking me to lie to investors, to the press, to everyone, just to protect your business deal? I'm asking you to help me save everything I've worked for. Sophia, please? I love you. This doesn't change that." She stood, knees shaking. "You love me, but you're asking me to be your convenient solution again. Just like that first night, that's not fair, isn't it? James, I fell in love with you because you saw me as real, as equal. Now you're asking me to pretend again? It's a lie. To put your business above everything else? It's not just about business. It's about building a future. For us, for Emma, a future built on lies?" His jaw tightened. "One more pretense. That's all I'm asking. Then we can have everything." Sophia grabbed her purse, vision blurring with tears. "I need time to think." "Sophia, wait." But she was already walking away, heart shattering with each step. The next morning her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. She opened it and her blood turned to ice. It was a photo from that first night. Her and James at the dinner table with the investors. Below it, a message. "I know the truth about the fake wife. Call me or I'll call them." Her hands shook as she dialed James. "Someone knows," she whispered when he answered. "Someone knows it was all fake." The blackmailer's demands were clear. $200,000 or he'd expose everything to the investors. James had 48 hours. They sat in his penthouse, the place where this had all started, now feeling like a trap. "Who would know?" Sophia asked, her voice hollow. "We were careful." James ran his hands through his hair. "The catering service? Building security. Anyone could have been watching. What do we do?" "Pay. I have to pay $200,000? Sophia's voice rose. "James, you said you barely had anything left." "I'll figure it out. I'll borrow it. I'll sell something. I can't lose this deal, Sophia. I can't lose everything again." The desperation in his voice reminded her of that first afternoon. The man who'd begged her to pretend? She'd thought they'd moved past that. She'd thought what they had was real. "We should just tell the truth," she said quietly. "Come clean before this gets worse. Throw away months of work. Sophia, the investors will walk. The deal will collapse. Everything I've fought for, gone. What about us? What about Emma? Doesn't that matter more than a business deal?" His silence was answer enough. The next day, Sophia received another message. "Change of plans. I don't want money. I want the penthouse." She called James immediately. "He's escalating. He wants your home now. It's insane. The penthouse is worth millions. So call the police. Report the blackmail." "I can't. The investigation will expose everything anyway. The investors will find out." Sophia's hands trembled. "James, we need to tell them. This is spiraling out of control. Give me 24 hours. Let me handle this." But James's version of handling it made everything worse. He paid a private investigator to find the blackmailer, someone who dug into places Sophia had never wanted exposed. Her past addresses, Emma's father's criminal record, her own sealed juvenile records from a shoplifting charge at 16. What have you done? She whispered when the investigator's report landed in her email by mistake. James at least had the decency to look ashamed. I needed leverage. If he's going to threaten us, I need ammunition to fight back.
How?
You investigated me? You dug into my past, my daughter's father, everything I've kept private? It was necessary. Her voice cracked. You violated my trust. You treated me like a problem to solve, not a person you love. Sophia, please. I'm trying to protect us. You're trying to protect your deal. That's all you've ever cared about. The door buzzer cut through their argument. James answered it, frowning yes. Mr. Wellington, it's David Chen. I need to speak with you. It's urgent. One of the investors here. Now James let him up, his face pale. David entered looking grim, carrying a folder. I'll cut to the chase, David said. I received an interesting email this morning. Photos from your first investor meeting. Evidence that Sophia wasn't your wife at the time. That the entire relationship was fabricated for our benefit. The room spun. Sophia gripped the counter to stay upright. David, I can explain, James started. Hope you can. Because Richard and Thomas are ready to pull out completely. The only reason I'm here is because I want to hear your side before we destroy you publicly. James looked at Sophia. She saw the calculation in his eyes, saw him weighing his options. And in that moment, she knew exactly what he was going to do. It's true, James said. The marriage was fake. But here's what you don't know. Sophia knew about the business situation. She approached me about the arrangement. She offered to play the role of my wife in exchange for money. The words hit Sophia like physical blows. What? James? No, that's not what happened. She's a professional at this, James continued, his voice steady, despite the lie pouring out. She saw an opportunity and took it. I was desperate and stupid enough to agree, but I've realized my mistake. I'm ending our arrangement today. David looked between them, doubt flickering across his face. You're lying, Sophia breathed. You begged me. You said you'd pay me because you needed help. I never approached you. I never offered. Do you have proof? James asked coldly. Any texts? Recordings? Or is it just your word against mine? The man she loved had vanished, replaced by the ruthless businessman who'd built an empire. He was sacrificing her to save himself. I took your daughter to museums, she whispered. I fell in love with you. I trusted you. I paid you well for your performance. Now please leave before I have security remove you. David Chen watched it all, his expression unreadable. I'll discuss this with the others. We'll be in touch, James. After he left, Sophia stood frozen. You threw me away. You made me the villain to save yourself. You'll be fine. I'll wire the 15,000 today. Plus another 10 for your trouble. That's more than fair. Fair. She laughed, the sound breaking into a sob. I gave you my heart. I let my daughter love you, and you just destroyed me to protect a business deal. You knew what this was from the start. A business arrangement. You wanted money. I wanted investors. We both got what we needed. You told me you loved me. I said what I needed to say to keep you invested in the performance. His voice was flat, emotionless. It's over, Sophia. Take the money and go, she wanted to scream. To hit him, to make him hurt the way she was hurting. Instead, she walked to the door with what little dignity she had left. Emma asks about you every day, she said without turning around. She draws pictures of you. She calls you her family. When I tell her you're gone, when I watch her heart break, I want you to remember that you did this. You destroyed an innocent little girl who loved you because your business mattered more. Sophia, don't. Don't say my name. Don't apologize. Don't pretend you're anything other than exactly who you showed me you are today. And the elevator doors closed on the love she'd been foolish enough to believe in. What Sophia didn't see was James collapsing against the door the moment she was gone. His carefully constructed mask crumbling as he realized. He'd just destroyed the only real thing he'd ever had. But it was too late. The damage was done. The betrayal complete. And Sophia Torres was finally, permanently gone from his life. 3 weeks passed like centuries. Sophia worked 3 jobs now, avoiding downtown entirely. Emma cried less frequently, but still drew pictures of the man who'd vanished from their lives. "Mama, did I do something wrong? Is that why James left?" Each question broke Sophia's heart anew. "No, baby. You're perfect. Sometimes grown-ups make terrible choices." She deposited the $25,000 into savings, money that felt like blood payment. Every time she looked at the balance, she felt sick. On a gray Tuesday morning, her phone rang from an unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Sophia Torres. A woman's voice. Professional. "My name is Catherine Price. I'm an attorney. I represent David Chen, one of the investors in James Wellington's company." Sophia's stomach dropped. "I have nothing to say to you. Please, just listen." David Chen suspected James was lying during that confrontation, so he investigated. He found security footage from the building. Audio from the hallway outside James's penthouse the day of that first meeting. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because the footage proves everything. James begging you to help him, you reluctantly agreeing. The truth about who initiated the arrangement." Catherine paused. "David Chen wants to make this right, but he needs your permission to use the evidence." Sophia's hand shook. "What happens to James if you use it?" "The investors pull out. His company collapses. And depending on what we find, there could be legal consequences for fraud." Justice. She could have justice. She could watch James lose everything the way she'd lost everything. "Can I think about it?" "You have 48 hours. After that, David presents his findings to the other investors regardless." That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. She kept remembering James fixing the leak in their apartment. James making Emma laugh. James whispering that he loved her in the darkness. The man who'd betrayed her had. It had also been the man who'd seen her when everyone else looked through her. Which version was real? The next morning, she made a decision that surprised even herself. She called Catherine Price back. "I'll meet with David Chen, but not to authorize anything. I want to speak to James first. That's not advisable." "Those are my terms." Catherine sighed. "I'll arrange it." They met in a coffee shop far from the penthouse. James looked terrible, thinner, haunted. When he saw her, something cracked in his carefully maintained facade. "Sophia." "Don't." She sat across from him, hands folded. "I'm here because David Chen found evidence. He knows you lied. He knows I'm innocent. He's giving me the choice to destroy you." James closed his eyes. "I know. He called me yesterday. Told me what he found. Told me he was waiting for your decision. I should let him do it. I should let you lose everything, yes. You should." His agreement surprised her. "Why did you do it, James? Why did you throw me away like I meant nothing?" "Because I'm a coward." His voice was raw. "Because in that moment, I fell back into old patterns. Protect the business. Protect the empire. Sacrifice everything else." He looked up, and his eyes were red. "I realized my mistake within minutes. But you were already gone, and I didn't deserve to chase after you." "You're right. You didn't." Called the investors the next day. Told them the truth. How I'd begged you. How I'd lied. How you were innocent. I gave them every piece of evidence clearing you and condemning me. "What?" "David already had his own evidence, but I didn't know that. I just knew I couldn't let you take the fall for my desperation." James's hands trembled around his coffee cup. They pulled the deal. "My company's finished. I'm selling the penthouse to cover debts. By next month, I'll have nothing. You confessed. You destroyed yourself to clear my name. It wasn't noble. It was basic human decency. Something I should have done immediately instead of throwing you under the bus." His voice cracked. "Sophia, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know what I did to you and Emma was unforgivable. I just needed you to know that I tried to make it right, that I loved you, that I still love you. Even if you hate me, even if I never see you again, I need you to know that what we had was real for me. All of it. Tears streamed down Sophia's face. You broke my daughter's heart. I know. If I could take that back, if I could take back every moment of hurting her and hurting you, I would. I'd give up everything I ever built just to undo that day. You already gave up everything. It's not for redemption. I'll never redeem what I did. I gave it up because it was the right thing to do. Finally. Sophia wiped her eyes. I came here ready to destroy you. I wanted to watch you suffer. I am suffering. Every day without you and Emma is suffering. Why should I believe anything you say? You lied so easily before. Shouldn't believe me? You should hate me. You should walk away and never look back. He pulled out an envelope. David Chen asked me to give you this. It's a settlement. Compensation for what I put you through. $200,000. Take it, use it for Emma's future. You don't owe me anything. She stared at the envelope. What do you owe me? The truth. The truth is that I was a broken man who used you to save myself. Then I became a man who chose his pride and his business over the people who actually mattered. And now I'm trying to become a man who takes responsibility for the damage he's caused. I'm trying. I'm failing. But I'm trying. Sophia stood. James flinched, expecting her to leave. Instead, she sat in the chair beside him. Emma asks about you every day, she said quietly. She wants to know when you're coming back. I keep telling her you're not. That you made bad choices. That sometimes people we love disappoint us. I'm so sorry. But here's what I realized. The man who betrayed us was real. But so was the man who fixed our leak, who made Emma laugh, who held me when I cried. Both versions are you. She took a shaky breath. I can't forgive you yet. Maybe I never will completely. But James, I don't want you to have nothing. I don't want to be the person who destroys you. What are you saying? I'm saying take the settlement money. Use it to rebuild. Not the empire. Not the business. Rebuild yourself. Become the man who makes the right choice first, not after everything falls apart. Sophia, that money is yours. Split it. Half for Emma's future. Half for yours? On one condition, anything. You go to therapy. You figure out why you fall back into self-destructive patterns. And when you're healthier, when you've actually done the work, maybe then we can talk about whether there's anything left to salvage. Hope flickered in his eyes, fragile and terrified. You'd give me another chance? I'm giving you a chance to become someone worthy of a second chance. What you do with it is up to you. James reached for her hand hesitantly. She let him take it. I'll do the work, he promised. However long it takes. Whatever it costs, I'll become the man you and Emma deserved from the beginning. Don't do it for us. Do it for yourself. 6 months later, Sophia received a text. I've been in therapy 3 times a week. Sold the penthouse. Started a small consulting business. Nothing flashy. Just honest work. Emma's birthday is next week. I'd like to send her a present if that's okay. No pressure to respond. She showed Emma the message. Her daughter's face lit up. James remembered my birthday. He did. Can we see him, Mama? Just to say thank you? Sophia thought about it for a long time. Then she replied, Saturday? The park where we used to go? 1 hour. Don't make promises you can't keep. James showed up early looking nervous. He'd cut his hair shorter. His clothes were simpler. When Emma saw him, she ran, and he caught her, lifting her up the way he used to. I missed you, Emma said. I missed you too, sweetheart. I'm so sorry I left. Mama says you're trying to be better. I am. Every day. They spent the hour on the swings. James pushed Emma, making her shriek with laughter. Sophia watched, her heart aching with complicated emotions. As they prepared to leave, James knelt beside Emma. I can't promise I'll always be around, but I promise I'll always try to do right by you. Okay? Okay. Emma hugged him tight. He stood facing Sophia. Thank you for this. Don't waste it. I won't. Walking away, Emma took Sophia's hand. Mama, do you think people can really change? Sophia looked back at James, standing alone in the park, watching them go with love and regret and hope written across his face. "I think people can try," she said. "And sometimes, trying is enough." They didn't get their fairy tale ending that day. Maybe they never would. But they got something more valuable, the truth. The messy, complicated, painful truth that people fail and hurt each other and sometimes still find ways to be better. It wasn't the ending Sophia had imagined when she first agreed to pretend to be his wife. But it was real. And after everything, real was all she wanted. The end.